Hello everyone, and once again I welcome you to still outside my scrapyard. We are remotely operating in it from my main machine. So, last time we have been working on actually setting up Active Directory, and I have showed you around the basics when it comes to creating users and managing them for a bit. And that was about all. Now, a server isn't exactly much of use. I think you might agree with me. But a server might not be exactly much use if it's not serving anything to any clients. So today I am going to show how to actually connect a client to a client computer to an Active Directory domain. And then I might show a little bit else, a little something else when it comes to using Active Directory in a corporate environment, and one of the main reasons why Active Directory is actually in use. So, off camera, I have prepared a Windows 10 client with VMware tools installed, so everything is nice and ready for us to use. My server is going to hopefully handle that. So first of all, most Windows installations will allow just for the use of an Active Directory domain. However, it will obviously not work for a Windows installation that use for a Windows installation with the Home SKU, so Windows 7 Home Basic and Premium, Windows XP Home Edition, or however it was called. If you, for whatever reason, were still deploying Windows XP, though there are applications that still require it. And for a little bit newer, you also won't be able to add a Windows 10 Home or Windows 11 Home computer to an Active Directory domain. It must be a professional, pro, enterprise. I haven't exactly checked education, but it's safe to assume so. If someone checked then please tell me in the comments if this is indeed the case. Anyways, after I go into the system and then information, I can click change the never mind, not this. This is change computer name would be useful in Windows 7 and so on. But here we need the advanced version, which is what you would use in before Windows 8.1 and older, up to 2000, if I remember correctly. I'm not exactly going to be setting up Windows 11 VM right now, nor a Windows 2000 VM to check, but I know this is how it. This is the prompt you will be looking for to join a computer. Then I am going to change. Leave the computer name as is. We don't exactly need to care. Set the domain, but before anything, we must first check with PowerShell or something else. What DNS servers are we using? Because well, it's going to take a while, so I'm going to move it aside. Come on. There we go. So we are currently using Cloudflare DNS servers, which we don't exactly want that because Cloudflare isn't exactly going to know what our domain is on the internet. So I am going to really quickly dive into the network card settings and change it so that we are going to use the Active Directory domain controller server, DNS server in this case, assuming that I remember it correctly. Then you are going to enter the domain name of the domain that you want to join, and then click OK. It's probably going to hang for a while, so that's going to take a bit. And something went wrong. This says that our computer cannot contact the domain controller that's responsible for our domain because we are because something went wrong, simply put. And I might have misremembered something. I'm first going to check if we are going on the same network. Yes, we are. I might have gotten something wrong. Yes, that's because 510 is actually the IP address for my ESX host, so I'm going to really quickly change that. It's 15. There we go. And it should work now. There we go. Now that if everything has gone right up to this point, you will see a password, a user login prompt like this. You will need to enter the username and password of the account that has the permissions to join this. Join the domain. So I am going to really quickly just enter the name and password, and if everything has gone right, you have entered the right password, so on and so forth. You will see this box welcoming you to the domain that you want to join. So the next thing that obviously we are going to want to do is to reboot. So that's what we are going to do, and I will see you right after that. So we are back on the login screen, and apart from the login to my own computer, I am now going to try to log on to my own domain. And if everything has gone right, we should now log in as SOM1. It's going to set up the desktop really quickly, so we are going to need to wait for a bit. Windows 10 isn't exactly the fastest on hard disk drives, you know, the spinning ones, not SSDs. The ones I have in my server are set up in a RAID 0 configuration, so that theoretically should give me a performance benefit, but I don't know. For one, it's definitely going to take a while, so as much as waiting for this is boring, I would honestly rather talk through this right now, so that, I don't know, this goes faster, because I genuinely don't feel like waiting for this myself. But yeah, this is going to take a few minutes. So how has your day been? And it's nearly done, and we will see the desktop in a bit. There we go. So we are on the desktop. So Edge is already to talk about us, and I did a thing or two. So I can't unpin, but I want to check something, because I did a thing, and okay, something has very clearly gone wrong. But what I was trying to demonstrate, now that we are in here, are group policies, which are probably the main reason why would you use Active Directory in the first place. Actually, maybe this would have worked in a scenario where maybe. So what I was trying to do was, okay, I actually have denied access. Okay, so what I was trying to get to were group policies, which basically are special policies, as the name says. So what I was trying to do here, I might actually try to set this to be enforced. Okay, so now that this is enforced, I'm going to log back in. Where I'm trying to get at. The group policies allow administrators to allow people on your machine to access or not access, or just plainly influence some things about your system. For example, what I was trying at least to demonstrate here, not sure if it will actually work this time. However, one of the things that I had set up a policy for, unless something had gone wrong and I didn't apply it. I'm going to go right in and edit it. So in this case, I have created a group policy here that applies to members. If I have that applies to members of the some people group, meaning that whoever is in the some people group, for example, some one, the example user I had created here, would be subject to this policy. Something I had gotten clearly wrong. Maybe I haven't set up something properly. So if that's the case, please let me know in the comments. However, I am going to. So if you know what I did wrong here, if I applied a security filtering, or however it's called in the English version, because I have a Polish version here, if I have done something wrong, then please tell me in the comments, because I honestly have no idea what has gone wrong here. But we have two sections here, that being computer configurations and user configuration. We can apply various rules like administrative. I'm going to go into rules and administrative templates. So I had set up a bunch of things here, like not search in the internet. I enabled it, which will essentially stop the search bar from looking things up in the internet. And also remove pinned programs from the taskbar, which should remove any pinned programs on the taskbar, though I might as well try this again. So what is this trying to do? It remains pinned, so it probably doesn't work on Windows 10 or something. Which also means that users will not be able to actually remove any pinned programs from the taskbar. But I guess this didn't work out. It might not simply apply because I don't know, maybe it's working on Windows 7 though. On Windows 2008 R2 or Windows 7, and this is Windows 10. But if anyone has idea what has gone wrong, then be my guest. Post your theories in the comments. I'll make sure to check them and actually try them, because I genuinely don't know what's wrong here. Anyways, what we can do here is enforce various policies. Basically, I mean, this is a policy. What I mean is rules that Windows will follow and restrict our user for various things. For example, this policy within the computer configuration, the control panel, will essentially always apply the default logon picture for all users. I haven't exactly bothered to configure that because I would have to simply swap this, and I don't exactly want to look for any image and so on and so forth. But anyways, a group, I'm definitely going to expand on group policies later once I actually figure out what has gone wrong. So a little bit more on user and computer management. Okay, so I took a quick break. So we are back in the users and computers of the Active Directory service. So one of the few things I did, apart from adding a bunch of organizational units when messing around before recording, and our desktop is now on the computer's pre-made organizational unit. We can double click on it to look at it and see what's up. The general view will tell us a bunch of things like where it is the type of the controller domain. None of these are actually domain controllers. The server we are currently on is the only server that is the domain controller. So yeah, here in this tab we can check something like the operating system, its version, and other things that one used to manage it, like its location, who is managing it. Here we can try selecting somebody, a user, a contact, or a group. In this case, I'm not going to pick anyone. Rules when it comes to dial-up and so on and so forth. And along with Unix attributes, because Active Directory, I haven't explained it last time, it's or maybe I did. Please tell me in comments if I'm repeating myself. Anyways, Active Directory is Microsoft's pretty much proprietary implementation of the LDAP protocol, which stands for Lightweight Directory Directory Access Protocol. I'm going to check off screen really quickly if I remember right. Yes, it's Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. So what we can also use is access our domain controller from any sort of Unix computer that includes Linux. Well, Linux is Unix-like. So that's about all we need. Now, groups. Groups are pretty useful. I have created two groups, IT and some people. We can obviously name it. We have two types of groups. Security group, where we can enforce various security rules, permissions, so on and so forth. And then we have also a distribution group, which is essentially just about mail. And that's really it. There's not much else to it. It's just, instead of mailing a ton of different people, you just mail the group. And everyone gets it. I don't care. We also have the group range. Where is it available? Like global, local, in the domain, and so on and so forth. My domain, for example, is very small, so I can keep it at global. We can also see its members, so check who is a part of it. We only have the person that we are logged in on our Windows 10 client, that being someone. Obviously, we can click the add button here and just pick out a user to add somebody. We can also add the group to more groups, because the members view also allows the adding groups. If I try finding it, will also bring up groups. So that's interesting. Obviously, who manages the group and so on and so forth. When it comes to adding adding users to groups, I'm going to, for example, check this one and go into the group members, and we can add groups that we would like to add our user to. For example, I'm going to add this user to the some people group, and then I didn't click apply, but it's not necessary. Now, a user has much more management options than I have shown earlier. For example, I am going to go back to the some people group, and I am going to restrict the account to only be able to log into the to the client computer we just added. I'm going to copy it and add it here. And now our user will only be able to log in here and nowhere else. And with things like the user's profile, in this case, and the root folder, is essentially where our user folder, if I remember correctly, will be stored. Will be a local path on the, I think it would be on the client's hardware, though I'm not actually sure, and to attach a network drive. The phone numbers, organization, that's just the contact stuff, Unix attributes, so user management for when the specific user you're working on is part of is so that our user we have created here can be accessed from Unix clients. The COM plus malware, I don't really know what that does and I don't want to mess with it. In addition to that, we can also, if we have Hyper-V, I don't think so, I don't have Hyper-V on here, I have ESXi. We can, if we had Hyper-V somewhere on my network, then I could essentially have a virtual machine be assigned as the user's specific personal virtual desktop. So if I were trying to, I think it's about something about, I think it would be about remote desktop, no, I'm not actually sure. That we have seen, and the profile we have seen. Remote control is if we can remotely control the user's session remote control. That's these two is going. I'm pretty sure these two options are going to be useful for remote access to our network. This is dial-up, the same thing as for our groups. I'm pretty sure this is more about as it says here, it's more about just accessing over dial-up more than over a VPN connection. Environment data, for example. If for the remote services, if I were to remote into somewhere as this user, then we could tell the remote system to have it start a specific program, and also attach the client's hard drives, printers, and stuff like that, and sessions. And then this is also for remote desktop, and really this is what this is about, as it says here, time limits and so on and so forth. And when it comes to this window itself, I suppose that would be all. We also, in terms of administrating Active Directory, we also have domains and trust relations and other sites our Active Directory domain can work on. But I don't exactly have any other site to set this up on, nor just any enough hardware to set up another controller. So I suppose for this part, I think this is going to be a rather short part, but I think that will be all. In the next part, if I hopefully figure out how to get them running, I will also show around how to a little bit of a deeper dive into group policies, because that's what pretty frequently Active Directory is used for, apart from having a place to do AAA as or accounting, authentication, and so on. I don't remember the entire abbreviation. It's right. It's authentication, authorization, accounting, for things like Wi-Fi access with the WPA2 enterprise. The enterprise part where they I think so, at least. I hope so. I'm not really sure, but we could use this for example, authenticating Wi-Fi networks with the WPA enterprise version, which instead of using just a pre-shared key, we instead use instead use a Radius server to authenticate against. Or for example, Linux mail servers like IMAP servers like Dovecot have the ability to authenticate users against LDAP domains. But I think for this video that will be all. Once again, if you have gotten to the end and I don't know, you find this interesting or something, make sure to like, subscribe, and if you think I have gotten something wrong or just have a suggestion, then make sure to comment. So that's all for this. See you around.